ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So I welcome all the devotees who have joined for this conference call, where we are offering our homage to His Grace Advaita Priya Prabhu, remembering him and also acknowledging the wonderful contributions which he has made to increase the faith of devotees in ISKCON, increase the faith of his own family members, and also to acknowledge the wonderful support which their family has given to him. So Srila Prabhupada, in the Dhruv Maharaj episode, when Dhruv Maharaj is in great distress and he goes to his mother, at that time his mother says, Tamaiva vatsashriya bhritya vatsalam mumukshubhi mrigya padabja paddhatim ananya bhave nijadharma bhavite manasavasthapya bhajasva purusham. She says, my dear boy, you have come to me crying tears, you are in great distress, your heart is broken. But compared to the help which I can provide, I want to send you to someone who can actually wipe out your tears and take away the distress in your heart. As a mother, maybe I'll be able to offer some solace, some sympathy, and maybe I'll be able to temporarily take care of your issues. But Krishna has the loving heart of millions of mothers put together, and therefore I suggest that you go and take shelter of Krishna. Tameva Vatsa Ashraya Bhritya Vatsalam, because Krishna is Bhritya Vatsal, one who is always very loving and always reciprocates with his devotees favorably. And therefore, Mumukshubhi Mrigya Padabja Paddhatim, those who have been searching for liberation since time immemorial, they have always been searching for his lotus feet. And since you are in great distress, I cannot think of anyone else who can provide ultimate liberation from distress than Krishna. Ananya bhave nija dharma bhavite. And in Ananya bhav, with complete one-pointed dedication and determination, with full focus on trying to please him, nija dharma bhavite. And the amazing thing about serving Krishna is that you really do not have to give up your other things. Nija dharma bhavite, you can be fulfilling your own duties, you can be fulfilling your own dharmas in the context of someone who is in the family life. They can continue their family life but learn the art and science of how to connect Krishna in the whole process. And therefore, Manasyavasthapya Bhajasva Purusham. And in this way, the most important technique you must learn is how to place Krishna in your heart and serve him and remember him. Manasi avasthapya bhajasva. Therefore, your mind is in distress. Your mind is torn by anger and revenge and envy for your stepmother. How can you purify your mind? That is something you must think about. And therefore, I recommend that you go to the forest and take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So on his mother's recommendation, Dhruv Maharaj goes to the forest and meets Narad Muni. And on Narad Muni's recommendation, he chants Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantre Nanena Devasya Kuryat Dravyamayim Buddha. Saparyam Vividhe Dravya Deshakala Vibhagavit. As per time, place, and circumstance, with whatever was available, he worshipped and served Lord Krishna. And then Lord Vishnu, in the form of Krishnagarbha, manifested in front of him. And that was not because of the intensity of his physical austerity, but it was because of his intensity of keeping his intention pure by aligning his intentions with the intentions of Sripad Narad Muni. And therefore, because he managed to submissively, strictly, and sincerely follow the instruction of Sripad Narad Muni, he was empowered with reciprocation from the Lord. So therefore, Krishna consciousness is a very dynamic and flexible process. It's a very user-friendly process. Anyone in any situation can easily follow it. One simply has to be submissive, sincere, and strict in the practice of the process. And one has to simply follow the instructions of the previous acharyas. And then within the context of what is available, one can follow as per one's best capacity. But as long as Krishna knows that you're trying your best, he is very merciful and reciprocates with sincere devotees. So therefore, any external conditions and circumstances can never be a binding factor in the onward journey and the success of Krishna consciousness. Anyabhilashita shunyam. It is only a matter of how we refine our consciousness. So at that point of time, when the Lord becomes pleased with Dhruva, he manifests in front of him. And then in the course of his prayers, Dhruva Maharaj expresses to Lord that yes, many people may consider to get the darshan of the Lord is a success of life, but I already got your darshan, but I do not still consider my life successful. Why? Because although I got your darshan, but I have practiced this process in solitude all alone. And what I'm hankering for currently is the association of devotees. And therefore, if I have a prayer to offer, that prayer is, please give me the association of devotees. Bhaktim muhut prabhatam tvaime prasango bhuyat ananta mahatam amalashe. In that association, may I be able to hear and chant the glories of Krishna incessantly, continuously, constantly. And therefore, yenonjasolvanam uru bhagavad bhodhim neshe bhavad gunakatamritapanamatta. The real success of life is not that I have your darshan, that I already have. But the higher level of success is when one gets such an association of devotees where one is inspired to continuously hear, chant, discuss the glories of the Lord, and one is able to immerse one's consciousness and mind in the Lord's thoughts. And therefore, in response to Dhruv Maharaj's prayer, the Lord blessed him. And then when Dhruv Maharaj went back home, his entire family and palace became an embodiment of Vaikuntha, where every member of his family became very closely connected and attached to him in Krishna consciousness. And in fact, Dhruv Maharaj, towards the later part of his life, he goes to Badrikashram. And there in Badrikashram, he receives the messengers from the Vaikuntha planets. And when the messengers from the Vaikuntha planets come, Dhruv Maharaj circumcision all other devotees who are there in Badrikashram, the sages and takes their blessings. He does not think that I am special, that the Vaikuntha airplane has come for me. He's not going around and asking all the other sages, did the Vaikuntha airplane not come for you? Has it come And therefore, Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that Krishna, he fulfills the duties and responsibilities of serving his devotees and those who are connected to the devotees very diligently. Just like Krishna is very diligent in offering the karmic reactions to those who are engaged in fruitive activities, Krishna has never missed transferring the right amount of karma at the right point of time to the right person in the right way. There has never been any error or mistake. But similarly, when it is time for Krishna to offer reciprocation with his devotees, so Krishna is saying that Mad Bhaktya Puja Vidika, my devotees are dear to me. So while dealing with so many souls who are not at all favorable to Krishna, Krishna has been so diligent and so particular about reciprocating and giving their particular quota of karma. So with respect to his devotees, much more he will integrating with devotees and helping the devotees in whatever they should be. And therefore, future and a better and safer shelter and protection from the fear of death than the loving reciprocation with Krishna. And therefore, Parikshit Maharaj, while this in the 12th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, when the Brahma Vimohan Lila description is about to begin, just before that, after the death of Aghasura, Parikshit Maharaj expresses his good fortune and he says, Vayam dhanyatama loke guropi kshatra bandhava yampiba. Parikshit Maharaj says, O dear Shukadev Goswami, I consider myself the most fortunate. So there are three levels of fortune described by Srila Prabhupada: fortunate, more fortunate, and most fortunate. So fortunate is someone who connects with Krishna conscious devotees. One who has satsang is fortunate. One who gets to hear and chant in the satsang is more fortunate. And who is most fortunate? One who gets to hear and chant in that satsang repeatedly is most fortunate. And therefore, anyone who gets connected to the devotees of Krishna in ISKCON, they must realize that they are most fortunate from the perspective of the Srimad Bhagavatam, because we get opportunities to hear and chant repeatedly. And therefore, in the context of Advaita Priya Prabhu and his life's journey, as all of us know that he was a teacher and he was a very efficient and a very successful teacher in his school in Gujarat. And then, because the family shifted, so he also shifted. But he continued remaining a teacher because now his subject changed and he took to the subject of Krishna consciousness. And any good teacher first becomes a good student. So he became a good student, and that uh, student student attitude he would demonstrate by being very diligent in hearing the lectures, taking notes, and making various points and his own reflections of Krishna based on those. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Advaita Acharya pastime, when Mahaprabhu enters Advaita Acharya's house, Prathame Pak Karyachi Acharyani Vishnu Samarpana Kaila Acharya Apni. So Prabhupada mentions the perfect householder life is demonstrated by Advaita Acharya's family. That Advaita Acharya's wife Sita Thakunani would cook for the deities at home, and Advaita Acharya would offer the bhoga and worship the Lord at the home. So Prabhupada mentions that ideal Krishna conscious Grihastha life is that the husband and wife come together in serving their deities at home. And yesterday, all of you have shared with me how Advaita Priya Prabhu was so diligent in serving the Lord, the deities at home, accepting that the Lord is the master of the home. And therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he actually recognizes Advaita Acharya in this manner. And when Advaita Acharya would offer the bhoga to the Lord, he would personally offer it. And in this case, Mahaprabhu was also there. Madhye Pita Grita Sikta Salyanyera Stup Charidike Vyanjan Donga Ara Mugdha Sup. So, because Nityanand Prabhu and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were coming, Mahaprabhu Advaita Acharya cooked 800 kilos of rice for Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So that he divided into three big, huge mountains. And in the middle of that, he created a crater. And in that crater, he poured in pure ghee. And that ghee was soaking into that rice. And when Mahaprabhu entered, and then he saw that all hundreds of vegetables were surrounding that, all the other kinds of sweets were near. Just by seeing that bhoga being offered, Mahaprabhu said, Oiche anna je Krishna ke karai bhojan, janme janme shire dharo tahar charan. Mahaprabhu says that the process of jnana is very difficult, where one has to become very expert in Sanskrit and learn all kinds of grammar and all those things. And that whole process of speculation is very painful. Process of bhakti is very simple. You remain at home and with your family members, whether you do bhajan or not, bhojan has to happen. So therefore, the family makes the bhojan, and then the simple process of offering the bhojan to the Lord. Mahaprabhu says, Aiche anna je Krishna ke karai bhojan. Simply in families where food is cooked in the way which Krishna likes, without onion, without garlic, vegetarian food, sattvic food, all these varieties of food, if it is cooked and offered to Krishna, Aiche anna ye Krishna ke karai bhojan. Simply by doing that, Mahaprabhu says, Janme janme shire dharo tahar charan. I am so pleased by this simple act that life after life I take the dust of the feet of such a devotee on my head. And therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very pleased with Advaita Acharya. And so the chapter ends by describing how Advaita Acharya perfected his Grihastha life by offering his everything in the service of Lord Krishna. Acharyere Shraddha Bhakti Griha Sampat Dhane Sakala Safala Hoila Prabhur Aradhane. So Advaita Acharya's Grihastha life was perfected because he offered these 5 things in the service of Lord Chaitanya and Krishna. Acharyere Shraddha, his faith was in Krishna. And so yesterday, Mayapur Chandra Prabhu was sharing that how practically for the last 1 year, although even before, right from the beginning of his Krishna consciousness, Advaita Priya Prabhu was fully dedicated to Krishna consciousness, and he wanted all his family members to get connected. His passion was to serve the Vaishnavas. His real taste was in hearing and chanting, and he would spend many, many hours reading and studying and discussing Harikatha. But practically in the last 1 year, he demonstrated extraordinary detachment from all other kinds of material relationships and material activities. And practically he more or less focused himself fully on Krishna conscious activities and especially on hearing and chanting. And this is a very, very, important symptom that one has offered his Shraddha. as is described here by Kaviraj Goswami. Acharyare Shraddha, one's faith is in Krishna. One offers faith when one experiences reciprocation, right? When you taste a rasgulla and you experience some taste in that, then you are inclined for one more rasgulla and one more rasgulla. And then next day you're looking forward to eating that rasgulla because you have experienced that taste. And therefore, only one who has experienced taste and reciprocation from the Lord can actually naturally be fully absorbed in the process of hearing and chanting and be detached from everything else, because it cannot be done artificially for a prolonged period. So therefore his faith had been ignited in Krishna. Acharya Shraddha Bhakti, Advaitacharya's devotion, Griha, his house, and all the activities of the house. So practically the house which all of you are in has been practically like a temple for so many devotees and Krishna conscious programs for years and years. And the center of the house are your home deities, which he was serving so wonderfully. So therefore his house he had practically dedicated as a residence of Krishna, Griha. And Sampat. Sampat means his sampatti, his property, his wealth, his family, his relationship. Sampat and Dhani, and also his wealth. Sakala Safala Hoila Prabhur Aradhane. Advaitacharya Grihastha life was perfect because he had practically offered all of this in Krishna's service, in the service of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similarly, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Jagannath Puri and is about to begin his South India tour, he is in the house of Sarbham Bhattacharya, and he tells Sarbham Bhattacharya that I'm going to South India and I am seeking your blessings that I return back from South India back to Jagannath Puri. Grihe Krishna Bhaji More Kora Ashirvade Nilachali Asi Jena Tomar Prasade. Please give me blessings so that I can come back. And Prabhupada says, why is a sannyasi seeking blessings of a grihastha? Because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a grihastha who had kept Krishna and Krishna's service as the center of his life. And therefore Krishna had offered full and full power to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to even bless the sannyasi. And therefore Paratma Nishtha Matra Vesha Dharan Mukunda Sevai Hoye Samsara Taran. Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas because he understood that the goal of sannyas is that Paratma Nishtha and Mukunda Seva. One's Nishtha, one's faith is in Krishna, and number two, one's actions are all towards serving and pleasing Krishna. When one's attitude is to invest in serving Krishna and one's actions are towards pleasing Krishna, then that is the ultimate experience of sannyas. And therefore, thousands and thousands of grihasthas across the whole world of ISKCON today, they can experience the very import of sannyas just by understanding these two principles. That the attitude is that I must invest my faith in Krishna to serve him, and my actions should be in such a way that I must try to please him. So when you try to serve and please Krishna, then that is basically the whole idea of renunciation. And therefore, you know, we are placing our head at the feet of His Grace Advaita Priya Prabhu, and we are praying to him that he blesses us with this kind of absorbed devotional service in the midst of all kinds of family situation which he was engaged in. And towards the last 1 year, he demonstrated such dedication and such detachment, which is very inspirational for all of us. Many times devotees become disheartened and disillusioned and disappointed with problems which they experience in the institution. when there are ups and downs in the society of devotees, one starts questioning whether the Krishna consciousness process actually works or not. But actually, the way to understand Krishna consciousness efficacy is not with routine organizational ups and downs, because ultimately there are two things. One is the medicine, and the second is the hospital. Harinam is the medicine, and hospital is the institution of ISKCON. So sometimes the hospital may go through ups and downs, sometimes the doctors may go on strike, sometimes there may be breakdown in the hospital. But whatever ups and downs may happen in the hospital, the medicine is always authentic. And therefore, ultimately, we should never lose faith in the medicine of transcendental sound vibration of the Bhagavatam and the Harinam Sankirtan. And therefore, irrespective of whatever may happen in our local temple or in the temple we may be connected to, or something we may read or hear in the news or in the internet, we should always have faith that the hospitals are only a support, an additional help, so that then medicine can be distributed more effectively and more efficiently. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada established ISKCON and expected us to lead and manage and organize ISKCON in a way that the medicine of the name and the Bhagavatam can be given in the most effective and efficient manner. And the leaders of ISKCON are trying their best. But we should always expect any organization, whether it is material or spiritual, which is comprised of human beings and led by human beings, to have its attendant shortcomings and difficulties. But we should not allow these difficulties to discourage us, to disempower us, to disappoint us to such an extent that we disconnect ourselves from taking the medicine of Harinam and the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, we reflect on the last 1 year's consciousness demonstrated by Advaita Priya Prabhu, that ultimately here is a person who saw everything in life, experienced everything as a family person, but towards the end of his life's journey, how he has demonstrated that what is of essence, Sara, is the Harinam, the deity worship, and the Srimad Bhagavatam hearing and chanting and experiencing. And therefore, Advaita Priya Prabhu was truly a Sara Grahi. He was one who accepted the essence just like a honeybee and perfected his life in Krishna consciousness. And we thank each and every devotee in the whole congregation of ISKCON of New Jersey, Tobacco, and also in Gita Nagari and New York, who played such a crucial role in supporting his journey, his devotional journey, and his emotional journey. And special gratitude to his family members for taking such good care of him and being such wonderful examples as a group of family members who managed to stay together under one roof. A very extinct, almost extinct phenomena in this age of Kali. And at least till the end of his life, he had the satisfaction of seeing his family together, doing what he loved the most, practicing Krishna consciousness. And I think it's a great responsibility of the family to continue that legacy. It is a great responsibility of his grandchildren to take this legacy forward and understand that, Krishna consciousness and the practice of Krishna consciousness meant a lot, meant something very deep to their fathers and grandfather. And so it is their responsibility to serve him and please him by taking that gift which he really wanted every family member to accept. So I pray at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and also at the lotus feet of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, who was his spiritual master, that they really grant him eternal shelter at the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna for his eternal service. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, thank you so much. That was so soothing to the heart. You know, you spoke the essence of our philosophy and glorified Advaita Prabhu, our dear, very very appropriately. आई मीन दिल करता है कि आपको आपको सुनते ही रहे, आपको सुनते ही रहे। अभी अभी आई मीन हमारे अंकल कल चल बसे हैं, तो हमने हमारा ये जो राउंड द क्लॉक हरि नाम है, we'll be doing one more week. We were planning to kind of continue until the end of this week, but now we'll continue for one more week. So I have a humble request, next week अगर आप आएंगे दोबारा और हमें कुछ आप शास्त्र ऐसे बताएंगे तो तो हमारा वो मोटिवेशन बना रहेगा। तो हमारे
Yeah, sure.
हमारे छोटे भाई है ना, मेहुल भाई, तो वो
Yeah,
वो उनका एक ही क्वेश्चन था नर्सशेल में कि हाउ कुड वी मेंटेन दिस enthusiasm throughout our life, and how would not it become a smashan vairagya, abhi I mean seeing the two uh, stalwarts leaving us, anybody will be disheartened.
yeah,
But how to really maintain this throughout our life? How to keep Krishna center in the life, and how do we really take up this so serious to our heart so that it may not become another incident and we get used to it,
mm,
like we get used to with everything. That ये तो I mean ऐसे ही चलता है, ऐसे ही होता है, सबको मरना होता है, तो चलो करो, खाओ क्या करेंगे, ऐसी हम झूठी कंसिस्टेंसी में फिर फंस ना जाए। तो
correct.
उनका उनका कहना था कि या तो आज या तो फिर दोबारा थोड़ा हमें कुछ गाइड कीजिए। तो ये हमारा फायर ऑफ फायर ऑफ आई मीन सर्विंग the fire of desire to serve Krishna and our dear father and now our dear uncle also shouldn't get dampened by any means. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
So basically, I'll just speak few words uh, in response to Mehul Bhai's question, and that is that the first principle is that we have to combine optimism and realism. So the reality is birth, old age, disease, and death. And the optimism is that when a person is present and we get the opportunity to be with them and serve them, then we get the best possible chance to please and do what we can to help them in whatever way possible. And so we feel grateful for all the opportunities we have been given. And the second aspect of optimism is that we should also have faith that by my practice of Krishna consciousness, then all those who are connected to me will also benefit. And therefore, it is natural for any kind of a person to feel disheartened and heartbroken in terms of a relationship suddenly getting broken through disappearance or death. In fact, Arjuna also on the battlefield of Kurukshetra cried very bitterly when Abhimanyu was killed. In fact, when someone is a human being and normal, then he has to experience these emotions. At the same time, he should also recognize the fact that, you know, I should not also become so overwhelmed that I stop performing my duties. And therefore, Yudhishthir at the end of the battle, after Kunti Maharani's prayers in the first canto, Yudhishthir started saying that I am responsible for this entire battle and therefore I am feeling morose. And therefore, Vyasadhyar Krishnen Adbhuta Karmana, Vyasadhyai Ishwarehagye Krishnen Adbhuta Karmana, Prabodhito api itihase, na shucharpita arpitam tai. Krishna himself, together with sages and Vedavyas, could not eradicate the lamentation of Yudhishthir, because Yudhishthir was lamenting so much, thinking that it was only because of my ambition to become the king that 64 crore 640 million soldiers have been killed. And therefore, Yudhishthir was experiencing the classic dilemma, uh, which is like the foundation of what now clinical psychologists call as depression, not seeing purpose of life, not having any purpose. And therefore, when Krishna himself could not inspire him, so Krishna decided to take Yudhishthir to Bhishma Dev. And that's how the ninth chapter of first canto demonstrates Bhishma Dev's instructions to Yudhishthir that yes, in this situation, you have to do the needful with respect to your duties. And you are not responsible because Sarvam Kala Kritam Manye Bhavatam Chedapriyam. When in Chopati 2012, 8 devotees died in a plane crash which happened in Nepal. The whole community was devastated. And interestingly, 2 of them were very actively involved in making DT dresses. In fact, they had inaugurated the DT dress department of Chopati, and the question everybody was asking that how can somebody who has been intimately serving Lord and helping in making the dresses for the Lord, how can they depart in such a plane crash? So therefore, at that point, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj made a reference to the Bhishma Dev prayers section. And, the chapter 8 and chapter 9 of first canto is a very good reference for anyone who is feeling extremely, disappointed and depressed and lacking purpose and having questions and doubts about incidents which have happened. And in that, Prabhupada mentions that typically one expects that if we perform piety, then Krishna will do good to us. And one does not accept pious souls to go through suffering. But Sarvam Kalakratam Manye, the Lord's time factor is equal towards all. And therefore, through that, with both empathy and along with empathy, exchange of knowledge. So pure empathy itself will not help in sustainable recovery of those emotions. We need a liberal dose of empathy. We need a person's emotions to be cushioned by loving reciprocation of family members. And what you have just begun, the Harinam Sankirtan in memory of these departed souls, is a great initiative. This is the time for friends to reach out and support, because, when the heart and the mind is broken, there is no shortcut healing process apart from having other human beings who are experiencing that emotion and they are there to support you. And along with that, we have to add the principle of the philosophy as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, surrounded by loving family members, grieving the loss together, and then feeling grateful for whatever opportunities were given, and then taking a sankalpa that let me not take any of the existing relationships for granted, because even those relationships may end anytime, and let me be more conscious in respecting and acknowledging different people with whom I have an existing relationship and an opportunity to serve and please. So therefore, this should create a feeling that I want to really help in every possible way to make a difference in others' lives. So these are my thoughts, Mehul Bhai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Grace Advaita Priya Prabhu ki,
Jai.
His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
समस्त गौर भक्त वृंद की,
Gauranga Prabhu ki Jai.
वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो।
This was his thing. This was his thing. He would give speaker. He would give the speaker Jai. You know that.
Yes.
He would say Gaurang Prabhu ki Jai like that.
He used to greet the people, I mean the Mahabhagavata, Mahapurusha, I'm sure he must have done to you also.
Yeah.
Fingers like this, he would do Yuni Mudra.
Mahapurusha.
Okay.
He knows
Hare
like
Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.